Vitor Roque was subbed off on the 11th minute for Atlético Paranaense, and that is because of a injury. One of the players, one of the center backs or like fullbacks, whatever that player's position was, he did tackle Vitor Roque in a very harmful way, and that is why we saw him on the ground and he couldn't even stand up. And it has been reported from Javi Miguel that Vitor Roque could be out for at least 3 months, at the very least 3 months, and this is very concerning, not because Vitor Roque is going to come to Barcelona injured, because I think that he'll still make it in time, but it's concerning because who knows if Vitor Roque will come back with his regular form, the form that he was in before, right? Scoring goals every other game or scoring a goal in every 90 minutes. It does get me very nervous for some reason, because many players do get this long-term injury, whether it's an ankle sprain or whether it's like a knee displacement or like an ACL displacement or something like that, right? And then they get this horrible injury and they come back and they're not in their top form like they used to be. So just going based off the time that he's going to be out, worst case scenario, let's just assume that another month is added on top of these 3 months. He comes back by the end of December, he'll still make it in time to join FC Barcelona in a very healthy state, right? Fully recovered, but who knows if Vitor Roque is going to be having the same rhythm. Most likely not, but we'll see. But hearing this is very frustrating. Even though I know that he'll make it in time for Barcelona, I still find it very frustrating because he is still considered as a Barcelona player, even though he does still represent Atlético Paranaense. So now, out of the 3 players that was supposed to strengthen our squad, they are all injured. Now we could see Araujo return this weekend against Celta, most likely. So Araujo is going to be the one returning first. Pedri will be the one returning in second, which will be on October, most likely at the end of October, and then we have Vitor Roque joining us last. But it's crazy to me to see that Barcelona right now do have Araujo, Pedri, and Vitor injured. Now, you know what's so funny? About 2 weeks ago, I did make a video, and I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember talking about how Vitor Roque has been playing so many games. It should be a warning call for everybody that Vitor should not be playing this many games. He's been in too many matches, he has been in too many minutes, and I was like, okay, eventually we could see something in the future that could lead towards an injury, and we saw that, right? So like this bad karma that I probably put out there, it finally happened. We saw Vitor Roque finally get into that injury. I think that when he does come back, his minutes do need to be greatly monitored because he has not stopped playing since January 2023, and the whole plan for him was to actually play for the World Cup qualifiers against Venezuela and against Uruguay in October. So these, like everybody that was in charge of the minutes of Vitor Roque, they were actually planning on using this player even more for the Brazilian national team. And I did say this on that one video. I was like, okay, Vitor Roque is playing for Brazil. He's going to be joining the Olympics maybe in January and then come back to Barcelona and play another 5 to 6 months of football and then join the Brazilian national team in the summer of 2024 for the Copa America and then go into the preseason. I'm like, when is Vitor Roque actually going to ever get rest? But now we sit here today with him getting injured, and hopefully this is a warning call for everybody, for the Brazilian national team, for Atlético Paranaense, for FC Barcelona, and everything all around. And so like I understand the frustration even for the Brazilian fans because they wanted to see Vitor Roque join in October and join the national team to go up against Venezuela and Uruguay, because it has been reported by some Brazilian source that the fans really wanted to see Vitor out of every other player, more than any other young Brazilian prodigy, even Endrick. They wanted to see Vitor, but because he is injured, we have to kind of respect that. We have to know that Vitor does have his limits. And this is also why I do say, like, when I heard about this story about Koundé and Christensen and Araujo and how Xavi's going to be having a headache on who he should be starting and who should be starting 100% of the time, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, there is no headache. Like, the only thing that we're going to be seeing is rotation between the 3 center backs. They're all going to get a chance to play. There is no such thing as like Koundé and Araujo playing 100% of the time and we never see Christensen. So if you guys ever get like mad that I put Christensen out of the starting 11 or my best possible 11 for Barcelona under Xavi Hernandez, it doesn't mean that Christensen is a bad player. I'm just saying that Araujo and Koundé is the best center backs for Barcelona, but that also does not mean that Christensen will not ever play. He will get his minutes. There's just rotation that needs to take place. Healthy rotation. We need that, and especially in today's modern football, many of these players play too many minutes. This is why we still see Pedri injured, Araujo injured, and many other players encountering injury. So Vitor Roque is going to be in that category. We have to monitor his minutes once he does join us, and the same thing is going to go on with Pedri, Araujo, Koundé, Cancelo, Balde, Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, everybody. Everybody has to be very cautious, right? We have to have at least 2 great players, a solid amount of minutes, not all of the minutes. So that is going to be my quick video on Vitor Roque. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.